Welcome back, all 856 of you fellow poker junkies, to a special Christmas episode. Coming up in this episode, I have Christmas gifts for you. We're going to talk about 2023 and what is to come. We're going to take a look at the finances from 2022, and we'll look back with fond memories on the year that was. Before we open our gifts, let's take a look back at 2022. There were some fun moments, some highs and some lows along the way, and let's relive some of those together. Oh, hello there. I didn't even see you come in. You know, I was just counting out some of my recent poker wins. We cash out of this one for $25.20, and it is a great feeling. Good to be up after doing all that work. Well, this looks like a fantastic way to start the session. We pick up black aces and raise to $15. An opponent raises us to $40, and I try not to lick my chops. It folds back around to me, and I'm going to raise small to $110, trying to keep him around. I thought that things were going well, but it gets even better. The opponent raises to $275. Let's rip it. This gives away the strength of our hand completely, but our opponent is basically committed now, and the jam for $200 more is unlikely to get a fold. If they fold, we make a profit of $275 without any further action. He does call. Show me those kings. We flip it up, and we get the event that happens only 0.3% of the time. Aces versus aces. We hired the expert dealer, Mr. Bobby Funk, to help us out. Bobby with the beautiful mustache is going to greet you.
Hey there, welcome to the table. Thanks for coming out. Why don't you take a seat and we'll get you started. How many chips can I get for you?
WSOP, what's going on, man? Why? And of course, he has deuce 3 suited and has made the straight. So that was the beginning of our weekend. Before I even have a chance to put my camera on the table, we're stuck, and we've lost to 2-3 suited, calling an $80 pre-flop bet. Oh, I have a problem when sports are on.
Oh, hey, I've been meaning to talk to you about something.
Yeah, what's up?
Well, lately...
And he pulls that one into right field. That's going to be a hit, and it's going to put the Mariners ahead.
Do you agree?
Yes.
It seems to me that there's probably a lot easier spots to take 25 big blinds from this player than this situation.
For those of you who don't know what tilt is, it's kind of like going to play golf without any experience. At first, you're hanging out with your buddies, you're having a good time, it's just fun to be around. But after a while, after they've been waiting for you and you've shanked the ball into the woods 3 or 4 times, it takes you forever to putt, and things aren't going so great.
Let's just relax now, okay?
We're going to down bet to 15, feeling like everything's going to go right on the turn. We're hoping to improve, and the turn is... a beautiful, beautiful jack of clubs. We are feeling great. We're going to bet $45. Let's get some value. We have the nuts. You know, if you're like me and you enjoy stealing pots from opponents who are opening too many hands pre-flop with less than premium holdings, go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button down at the bottom of this screen. It's a lot of fun. Highly suggest it. And your opponents, I mean, they're not really going to miss those chips that bad. So it's at this point that my opponent decides to turn over the 10 of diamonds. It's pretty sick if you have king 10 and you just drilled the king on the end. But diamonds is what I would expect you to have most of the time. Why would you show me that? Because you want to call? Did you stumble into it? I feel like that's ace 10 or king 10, or you have air. Why would you show that to me? You would would never show that to me.
A lot of, you have a queen, don't you?
All right, it's got to be the... You've got to have the king of diamonds there.
Nope.
No?
Good call.
All right.
Nice call.
Thank you. I played almost 5 hours in this session, won $1,300, and that means that $130 is coming your way. Let's find out who's taking home that money right now by drawing from the Seahawks hat of destiny. It's not you will make the vlog for sure.
Yeah.
All right, gross. Show me the bad news.
Wow.
Oh, I knew it was there. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on.
Pocket there. Heavy pocket there.
All right. Yeah. Not only did Nathan beat me with quads, but he's also a better looking guy than I am. And for that reason, he must be punished. And we go to basically near Pueblo in Colorado. My aunt and uncle have some acreage. It's kind of out of the city and out of ways, but beautiful spot. And we got to just spend time hanging out with extended family. What an awesome trip. We had a great time and made the whole thing worth it. Getting clobbered in Vegas was a terrible feeling, but hanging out with family and spending some time together was fantastic. Now for a spicy one. We're holding ace-5 of diamonds in middle position and raised to $15. Two players call, and now the button, who is a very capable opponent, raises to $65. Because I have played with this opponent before, and it is a perfect opportunity for him to make a squeeze play in this position, I decide that I'm going to take an aggressive line against what could be a rather wide 3-bet range. I make it $165, and he calls. This is not exactly what we want to see while holding ace-5 suited. Come on, diamonds. The flop is the 3 of diamonds, 4 of diamonds, 3 of hearts. Okay, that looks beautiful. I jam, expecting to get called a decent amount, but knowing that we have a ton of outs if we do get called. He does in fact call, and we need some help. No need to worry though, we have a secret weapon. That's right, we're wearing our lucky shirt. The turn is the 2 of diamonds.
You got a really good hand.
Oh, baby, this could not have gone much better. All right, show me bad news.
Queen of spades.
No way.
I told you don't run it. Only I run him. Only I run you. Never.
Okay. Captain's log. Conturning. Oh my gosh! I did it twice in a row. Conturning. Okay. Ooh, concerning. Captain's log. Okay. I'm all messed up. Ooh. Okay. Captain's log. Conturning. Oh my gosh. What is happening? Yep, it's been a fun ride in 2022, and I'm grateful that you've been here for the whole thing. You definitely made this process better. If it was just me doing this and pumping out content, it would be one thing, but to get your feedback, to hear what you guys want to see, to get your thoughts and opinions along the way, it has made this so much more fun, so much more enjoyable, and it has made this channel a lot better. I would not be where I am without you. Thank you. Appreciate you. All right, you've waited patiently. Let's get into the gifts. The first one is a hand that I played the other night at Quest. I couldn't film it because it was at Quest, but the hand was incredible, and I wasn't really planning on making an episode, but I've got to share this one with you. This was wild. All right, for this one, we're playing 1-3 at Quest, and it's a straddled pot. The under the gun player opens to $16. The player next to him makes the call, and it folds to me. I have pocket jacks, and I don't really want to go to a flop 5 or 6 ways, and I'm not really intending to set mine with a hand this strong. I think even though the player is raising from under the gun, because I have the extra dead money in the pot, and because he's a little bit tighter, and I think there's some tendency to fold to pressure, I'm going to go ahead and 3-bet this. If nothing else, I want to get it heads up so that I have a chance to steal on the right boards, or if I make a big hand, to just continue to pile the money in with confidence that I have the best hand. So I go ahead and raise to $70. The player to my left thinks for a moment, and then ends up making the call cold. That's unusual, but this is one of those problems with the state cap rule in Washington where there's no additional raising because it went straddle, raise, 3-bet. They consider that to be the third raise, and so they do not allow an additional raise. It's a dumb rule, but it's part of our game. So now it's capped and no one can raise, and it goes call, 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 and the original raiser has the choice to just call. So they both call, and now we're going 6 ways to a flop with a gigantic pot of $420 with pocket jacks. Not a super ideal position to be in, but it's the spot we find ourselves. The original raiser has about $130 left. The flop comes down 8-6-3 rainbow, and he jams for $130. It folds to me, and I have a decision to make. I think I have to call, at least. I'm not folding this hand. I have an overpair to the board, and if I'm losing to that player, that's fine. It's going to happen. He's putting 130 into 420. I'm definitely sticking around. The question is, do I want to just call here? I don't think I do. It puts me in some tough situations, and for that reason, even though it's a multi-way pot and it is a little bit sketchy, I go ahead and rip it. I jam for the $500 with the goal of just pushing everybody else out so that they can't turn or river a straight or an overcard or something crazy that I don't want to see. So I make the bet, and the player to my left, who is John. John, well, I have a thought for you, but I will say it after I give the results of this hand. John jams. This is not a good sign. I know he's ahead of me. John's a solid player, and I know I'm beat at this point. It folds back around, and I ask, do we want to run this with our cards up or down? We decide on up. I turn them up. It's pocket kings from the original raiser and a set of 6s to my left. That means I'm in last place. Very bad news. I'm losing a giant pot. By the way, John covers me. He's got about 700, so I'm in terrible shape. Oh well, let's see what happens. The turn is the king. So now there's a set of kings over a set of 6s. Nasty, nasty cooler for John, but he's still going to win all of my money. Until the river shows up. And it's a jack. And so now I'm taking a portion of John's stack that's not being won by the under the gun raiser. Oh, John, I'm so sorry, man. You did everything right on the flop. You got the money in good. And now it's just disappearing when you should have won a giant pot. I'm sorry, variance sucks, and I felt absolutely terrible about the way this went. Sorry, man. Anyway, so this was just a wild, wild hand where we end up set over set over set, and I end up profiting on the hand because by the time I get the difference, it's $350 of my stack and his stack, so I end up with $700, and the original raiser wins a huge pot and is pretty happy to be scooping. So, wild action. Just had to share it with you guys. I've never seen that happen before in all the time that I've played. So, one that I just had to share with you. 3-way all-in action for a wild pot. So that hand puts me up about $200. So, feeling pretty good. We haven't been at the table for too long, and we're sitting with a decent stack. I later go on to play against a player who's been very active, playing a lot of hands. I get pocket jacks again. And so I go ahead and 3-bet when he opens to $70 once again. He made it 20, I made it 70. He'd been calling a lot of raises, and so I thought, I'm going to make him pay a very high price if he's going to stick around. That way, I have a better idea of what he's holding. So the flop comes down 8-8-5. I bet when he checks to me, and then he calls. The turn is an overcard, I believe an ace. He checks to me. I'm going to go ahead and check this one back in pot control, and the river's a king. So now I have 2 overcards, a paired board, not looking real great. He checks. I'm going to just take my showdown, and I have a feeling that I'm going to be beat here. He's going to show up with an ace or a king a fair amount of the time once we get into this 3-bet position, but maybe his is too weak of a card. but I didn't rep the ace. It's going to be hard for me to get him to fold anything better. I'm just going to take my showdown value. So I check back, and he shows 8-5 suited for the boat. So we're losing that one. So later on, I go to build my stack back up to about 180 above starting stack, and I get involved in a hand where I have a suited ace. I make the nut flush. The opponent flops a full house on queen, queen 3, checks through, and I bet the river. He just calls, which I don't know why he did that, but he did. And so we lose this one. It's not an enormous loss because he didn't raise us for some reason. I definitely was calling with the nut flush. So, I don't know. That was an interesting one, and we end up losing and getting down back to about a starting stack. We get pocket jacks for a third time in the night, end up raising that one up and going to a 3-bet pot, and I end up losing that one on a, I think, 4-liner to a straight. Just some funky stuff that happened. I build the stack back up one more time and end up cashing out for $34 profit. I'll take it. Either way, I'm paying you 10%. I know it's only $3, but I'm not going to skimp. I'm not going to say, oh, this one's too small to share with you guys. If I win, you win. That's the rule. So, yeah, it's a $3 gift card, but hey, it's something you're still going to win. So I'm going to draw that $3 winner, and I'm drawing a $20 Christmas winner. So 20 bucks coming to a Patreon supporter and a $3 gift card. I know it's kind of a lame prize, but hey, you won something. In order to determine our winner, we need the Seahawks hat of destiny. All right, let's shake him up first. Oh, I dropped one. All right, let's try that again. Okay, winner number one. The $3 gift card is Justin. And the $20 Christmas gift card goes to R-Bar. R-Bar, congratulations. 20 bucks coming your way. Christmas bonus. Thank you for supporting the channel. All you Patreon supporters, very much appreciate you. And those will be coming your way very soon. Now on to 2023. 3 big goals for this year. We are going to travel to 3 new cities and play some poker in those new cities. We are going to get some tournament play on the vlog. I had a few requests from you guys, some comments saying, hey, why do you play tournaments? Why do you never make a tournament vlog? Let's do it. Let's do it. It'll be fun. It's not maybe my forte, but I do enjoy playing them when I can, so let's get them on the vlog. Number 3, we are going to try to raise the hourly rate up to $10 higher than it currently is. Just shortly, I'm going to be talking about what that is and what that looks like, but I'd like to get it up $10 from here. Basically, when I started doing this YouTube thing, the time that I was allotted for studying, that I was spending on learning the game and focusing on poker, I shifted it to learn how to edit the video, to learn how to do YouTube. I'm sure if you go back and watch my first couple of videos, you'll go, oh, those are rough. And I would agree. So I've been spending a lot of the year trying to learn YouTube and how to edit and how to do all that kind of stuff. And so I haven't spent as much time on poker. It's definitely showed up in my game. I've noticed a bit of a slip, and I'm not super happy with that. So I'm going to be putting more time into my studying, and I want to raise my hourly up another $10 from where it currently is. You're probably asking, well, what is that hourly? We're about to talk about it. Good question. Thanks for asking. I have one more thing for you, and then we'll get to that. In addition to these goals, I'm really enjoying the Tater Talks segment that we're doing, where I get to just review a hand and talk with a fellow poker player. That's been really fun, and I'd like to lean into that a little bit more. If you have any feedback on what you'd want to see on there or what you think would improve it, you guys are smarter than I am, so I always like hearing what your thoughts are and what you would want to see happen moving forward. I see a lot of potential for that. I think it could be a ton of fun, and it's another chance for me to learn and improve my game. And I hope that if you're watching those and coming along with me, that you're going to learn and benefit just as much as I am. All right, I said I was going to try to raise my hourly by $10 an hour. Well, let's talk about what that hourly was over the year. I'm going to disclose everything from the year. I think that's important, and I want to pull back the curtain, so to speak, show you everything there is to know so that you know both what happened to me and for those of you who joined me originally with the journey, the goal was to see, could I play poker professionally? And if you wanted to see updates along the way, I've got a couple of updates about how things are going and where things are at, how they're progressing. And so you can go back and watch to get my opinion on what I'm going to be doing moving forward with poker. But as stated in the second update, I don't think I'm ready to quit the job. I'm making my goals, but I'm seeing that the goalposts kind of have to move. As my groceries, gas, all those things cost more, I just have to adjust my numbers. I haven't made any kind of an inflation adjustment at this point because I just don't know what it's going to look like. I feel like we need to allow maybe a year or so to see what new costs are. And if we find any kind of stability that, hey, prices are actually leveling off enough that I can make a new budget and then count on that budget being reliable, then maybe I will go ahead and pull the trigger or be ready to move forward. But I need to set some new goals if I'm going to do that. So that's going to be part of the discussion for this year. But let's talk about what we set out to accomplish initially. My goal was $34 an hour just to be scraping by, just to barely be able to pay the bills, and I could probably move away from my job at that point. But things were going to be tight, and I wasn't super excited about 34. The goal was to get to $42.85 per hour, and here's how we did. I'm going to share all those numbers with you for my year, but here's the disclaimer I need to share first. I went to Vegas, and when I did, I took a shot at 5-10, and the game turned into 5-10-20 fairly often. So I was playing above the stakes I'm normally comfortable with against people who were there for the WSOP that were clearly better than me, and I probably shouldn't have stayed in that game as long as I did. I had set out with a goal of, I'm going to record this for the vlog, it'll be fun. Not something I would normally do if I was just trying to make money. I would maybe take a shot one time, and if I lost that buy-in, say, okay, I'm jumping back down to 2-5. But I blew through several buy-ins trying to play 5-10, 5-10-20. I felt a little bit outclassed. I felt like I was a little bit out of my element and was probably overreaching in that position. I would like to try that again in the future. However, I would not include that with like a normal hourly. If you were trying to make it as a professional, shot taking is not really part of your budget. So I'm going to present the numbers with that first, and then I'm going to take it out and just show you like normal games that I'm comfortable with, and you'll see a drastic difference. Those 4 days of playing higher stakes were really painful and made a big difference on my bottom line. All right, I'm going to throw the graphics up on the screen here so you can see them as well. So as you can see, I made $16.25 if you include everything. That's the giant loss. But let me show you the graph because you'll see the Vegas trip mixed into the middle of that. All right, so there's the graph with the Vegas trip, and you can see a gigantic plunge from a positive 4,400 to a negative 1,500. Giant swing, and it all occurred in Vegas. $6,000 downturn, that's pretty enormous, and it has a huge impact on the bottom line. So, with that being said, my hourly, if that is included, was $8 an hour. Not real impressive, not going to pay the bills. Now let's take a look at it with that filtered out and just give you the games I'm comfortable in so that if you're trying to figure out if you could be a professional, you have an idea of what you could kind of count on if you get your game to a certain point. All right, so playing in local games at stakes that I'm used to, I am making $41.82 per hour. So that's pretty good. We'll be pretty comfortable with that. Our goal was $42.85, so we're $1 essentially below the goal to comfortably pay the bills off of the pre-inflation numbers, we'll call them. The initial projection when we started the channel before groceries were getting extremely expensive. So the graph, if I put it up here, looks like this locally, a little bit better from the Vegas graph that I showed you, or the graph that shows everything. Obviously, shot taking is very risky, and it results in things like this more often than not. I mainly did it to try to spice up the channel and have some fun content. I don't think I'll be doing it again anytime soon. At some point, though, I'd like to kind of regroup, get my study under control again, feel good about my game, and step back into those waters. But I wanted to give you an idea of if you're just trying to pay your bills and get an idea of what you can do. There it is. There's a ballpark of what's reasonable. Somewhere around $40 an hour is probably not improbable for what you're doing. So 41.82, and the goal this year is to get up to $52 an hour. That's what I'm going to be shooting for, and I think it's very doable. All right, guys, a year ago, we started this vlog in front of the fireplace with me smoking a pipe, and we're going to end it here in the same spot. I hope you're well. I hope you're enjoying some time with some family. Hang out with people you love. Tell them you care about them. Merry Christmas, and I will talk to you again in the new year.